Good evening, everyone. Today is our, I think, week fifth. So we will be learning about three more capabilities that are supported by Spark. I hope you guys have submitted the effects for the hackathon, and it was great to be the part of a new uh, things which we did. We learned a lot of new capabilities that was from skin segmentation, or maybe you would have made some games or something like that. So in today's class, we'll be learning how we can make some of the cool effects that are what is your favorite food, or like which place shall I visit, and there would be different places or different effects. So yeah, we'll be learning all those stuff in our today's session. So let's begin. I'll be opening the Spark here quickly and we'll start the effects. So let's learn first about the render pass. So for that, we'll be uh, choosing any of the templates. I'll be going off with face mask. So let's wait until it gets open. So you can see that this is the face mask template that is being there with us. You can replace it, or we can work on this itself. So before starting off with render pass, I want to tell you that if you have a blank project, you can just will do it parallelly. So let me open a blank project too. So there are basically 2-3 patches that we are going to deal with. The first one is delay frame patch, and the second is shader render path. And we can use 2-3 more that I'll be teaching you when we'll be making the effects. So if we talk about the delay frame patch, so this is you basically it is used to render the pass from the various frames in the current frame, that will allow you to blend the frames. Like you would have seen the effects where some blur effect is going on, or you would have seen in like the fire effects. Those all effects are made by using the render pass. Apart from that, you would have seen that the filters which are like when you click on the screen, the picture gets clicked. I mean, not on the screen button, but apart from that, when you just there are 4 frames, collage frame, and you are posing differently and you are just clicking on the screen. So all those filters would be very easily made with the help of render pass. So in this, there are different parameters that we are going to see. One will be sizing mode, color channel, that could be either RGBA or RGB or RG or R. We have background color, first frame, that can be modified with the other patches of the frame. Then a render pass, and the output would be wireless emitter. That would be a delayed texture that you would be seeing it, and we'll be using that, we'll be connecting it to a receiver. uh, so to connect the output of the delay frame, a receiver patch is needed, and you can connect one or more receiver too. So I was talking about this effect where you would have seen that like if we delay the frames, then there would be some blur effect. So this effect will be learning how we can make it through render pass. And other is the shadow render pass. So in this one, what is this as you know that there are different parameters that would be quite similar here also. Sizing, model, color channel, data type, and shaders. So for the render one or visual shader or texture, creating complex textures from the multiple images, and we can do some buffering, or we could create some uh, complex filters too with the help of this. So, oh, I forgot to share the screen, so I'm so sorry. Uh, just give me a minute. I'll share. Okay. Are you able to see my screen? Can anyone give me a response? Guys, is my screen visible now? No, not yet. Okay. What about now? You would be able to see, I think it's visible. Yeah, okay, sure. Cool. So I was talking about these two patches that we are going to see. The first one is delay frame patch and the other is shader render pass. So I was telling you about this delay effect that you would have seen in so many filters. We'll be learning how to make this one. And the other patch that we use is the shader render pass patch that we'll be seeing in our filters, of course, in the coming ones. So let's begin it. So I have opened the face mask effect and I have opened a blank project. So before starting off, let me tell you how you could create the render pipelines. So what you have to do is you have to click on device, and then you have to click on this, create a default pipeline. So automatically there would be some of the patches that would be made for you, and you have to just work on that. So let me tell you what happened here exactly is. So this is the camera texture. Now if you are thinking from where it came, so it just came from camera texture, and then we have extracted the texture from here, and then we have attached the RGBA channel to it, shadow screen render pass. So this is the patch that we'll be using in our effect. So what happened is this device, so if you're wondering from where it came, so it just came from just stretch it and bring it to the patch editor and then connect the screen object to the object. So like either you can make it manually or you could just create on the render pipeline here, and this would be created. So and the output, so these two are the inputs. The inputs for this patch will be camera texture as well as a device that will be on which we'll be using it, and the output is again a screen. So whatever things we'll be doing it, we could easily see here on the screen. So let me add some of the patches here from the Spark assets itself, I mean the library. So let's go to library and add 2-3 cool patches that we'll be using. Let me go to shaders and we'll be adding a duotone patch. Okay, so here we have duotone. Then we'll be adding, what should I else add here? Adjust. Okay, let's add a mirror. And let me add blocks too. So grid. Oh no, not grid. Let's add checkbox. Okay, so I have added all these three in the mask itself because we'll be working here itself. I was just telling you how you could create the render pass pipeline, or if you want to work here, so you could just work directly on a blank project. So let's work on the face effect itself. So I have added the patches here. As you can see that this is the default uh, render texture that is being added. So for now, I'll be deleting this one because we don't need it. So I have just removed it, and let me add the patches. Give me a minute, let it get loaded because I've already added to it. Give me a minute. Okay, so let me start from blank project itself because I'm unable to add the patches in the face mask. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, no issues. We'll start from scratch. So we have added 2 or 3 patches. One I'll be adding is texture distortion, and the other would be distortion. Okay, this one. And let me add a mirror. And shadow. Okay, so we'll be adding this one, and let's add one more patch mirror if I haven't. Cool. So what you have to do is you have to go on device and click on default pipelines. You would be able to see these patches that have been there. So let's add our requirements. So what we'll be doing is first let's add a duo. Where it went now. Okay, let me add again. Let's use this only. But white is not getting added. Try again. I hope this time it comes. Try to attach this patch and then we'll see why it's not getting added. So we'll be attaching the texture to the device. So you could see that it's being mirrored now, and we can change it to like affect what you want. For example, you want it downside or you want it upside. So by default, let's take this one. And then let me try to add from computer itself if it comes. It's not getting added. I don't know why. Anyways, I was trying to make a water effect, but no issues. Will go with this checkboard. And what we'll be doing is we'll be attaching its output to the mirror style texture. So let me change the X and Y repeat to 15. And we'll be attaching the output to the mirror style. Oh wait, let me attach the, oh now texture distortion also didn't came. I don't know why. What's happening? Okay, let me open my project only. Okay, so I have this one. So what I did here is I have attached the mirror shader into the, this was by default, you have to delete it. And then we have a texture distortion patch. Let me remove everything and then I'll show you so you guys will get what's happening here. Okay. So let me change the color to blue and purple. Okay. So here is the mirror shader and its style is being inputted as 2. And then I have this texture distortion shader, which you will be getting from the asset library itself. And then we'll be attaching the output of this to its texture and the checkboard output to the distortion texture. So you can give 15 repeats. So you would be seeing the changes in the texture here. Like we have 15 by 15 blocks from X and Y axis. And if you want these to be have some rotation, then also you could do it. You can give it to 90 or 180 according to your wish. Then you can even change the opacity. So what we have to do is, like, if you don't want this dual shade, you can just directly attach it to the screen. But since I wanted to have some bluish texture, so that's why I added it. So it's all up to you how you are going to make your effect. And even you can change the repeat of X and Y to some small quantity if you want. And if you don't want rotation, you can go for it. And I have attached a loop animation to the y-axis, so that's why you could see that from the y-axis it's getting animated. If I remove it, so it will get stopped, and you could just see the texture itself. So in order to give some animation look, I just gave it to y-axis. You can even give to x-axis or rotation if you want. So I'm fine with y, and let me give it to 15 by 15. Yeah, and don't worry about these patches because it was by default created by the face mesh effect directly, and in this replace I just gave this face mesh WW just to make a dual look. And what you could do is, like, if you want to have add some more textures, so you can download the patches from the assets library. So I have downloaded uh, this patch. So what this patch do is it will bring a some anime type look. Let me show you how it looks in the shadows. So this is the patch that I have used here. So you have to just import it, and once you import this patch, it will come here, and you have to just drag it here. And what you could do is, like, if you want this texture to be inputted, just take the output of the texture distortion shader into the texture, and it, and take it as input. Now its output will go to the device. So you could see that texture is being enabled here. We can try it on any other face if you want. So you could see that it's being applied. So like this, you could create so many effects by using the render pass. If you don't want this checkbox or something else you want, you could just go here, and you could find here dots or grids. For example, if we try with dots, you just have to go and import it. I hope it comes this time because I don't know what's happening there. Okay, here it is coming. So let's attach to the texture distortion, and let me change the demo video, and let's add some more dots here. So let's go with 15 by 15 again, and let's give some smoothness, and let me give some animation too. So we need loop animation, and we'll be attaching it to, for example, if we attach to x-axis, it will look something like this. If we attach to y-axis, it will look something like this. And even we can give it to the smoothness or opacity. So you can change the duration to 2 or 3 according to your wish. And we could give it to dot scale too. So you could see that the effect is looking like this now. So it's all up to you. If you want to change the mirror style, so you could go with something like 5, so upside down, and then you can even go with 4. So it will be half shifted, mirrored, and 2, 1, 6. So like this, you could just create a number of filters according to your requirements. So let me change it to the checkerboard now, and let me save this project. Similarly, you could create it with one more. Let me try it. The delay with the help of delay frame. So let's make the filter with the help of delay frame. Let me discard this and let's create blank project itself. So wait until it gets loaded. Okay, got loaded. So what we'll be doing is we'll be creating a delay filter, which would be something like you could see some blurry effect in your filter. So let's begin it. We'll be adding the camera texture first. From the camera, we'll be extracting the camera texture, and then let's take the patch and we'll be adding it like if you want to do with Scratch, and then we'll be taking the device. Just give me a minute. Let me connect to my getting slow. Okay, so we'll be having delay frame. So this is the like we'll be using it as you could see how it will delay the effect. Let me attach. So what we are going to do is we'll be attaching the front camera active to the first frame, and then we'll be attaching the device okay, we won't take device and we'll take delay frame. Oh, it got stuck. Let me create it from default only. Let me switch it to the first frame, and then we'll be needing a rectangle. So let's add a rectangle with full width and height, and then we'll be needing a mix patch with a receiver. So we need a receiver So the receiver patch, as it says, that receive patch data from a sender patch without connecting cables. So you will be need to select the sender patch you want to receive data from. So receivers can input and output the data from any other patches. So let's add the receiver. And let me add to its device. And then we'll be taking this mix patch and attaching one more receiver. Have to change this to delay frame, and then again we'll be needing this, and let's attach to it first patch, and then we'll be needing shadow, render pass. So it will render one or more visual shaders or texture, create complex texture from multiple images. Output of this patch can be connected to another shader pass, a screen render pass, or the visual shader network. So it is used practically. Let's see how it can be, we can use it. So what we'll be doing is we'll take the RGBA channel from the camera texture and we'll attach it's as a first input of the mix patch. And with the help of this delay frame, we'll be taking its second input. And then as of now, we don't need device. So let me just delete this. And we'll be attaching its mix output to the shader. And then what we'll be doing is its shader render pass texture will be connecting it to the render pass. And now you could see that there is there's no such change, but when you will change the alpha channel and when you will give the value to 0.8 or 0.9, you could see that there is a blurry effect that could be seen. You can change the alpha value to 0.9, so it will be more blur now. And if as soon as you go to 1 or 2, so you could see that the frame got stopped itself, because you have given like a quite larger alpha value. So if we give 0.1, you cannot see the changes. If we give 0.5, slight change would be there, slight delay. And if we give 0.8 or 0.9, I think it suits fine. 8, 5. Okay, so we can even see here. So you could see the delay that have been occurred. So what basically happened here is we have used the camera texture and then we have used the two frames, that is delay frame as well as the shader render pass frame. So the delay in the delay frame, we have two input. The first one is first screen, that will be the camera texture, that is RGBA channel, and the second screen, that is render pass. So in order to attach the render pass as an input, what you have to do is you need a shader render pass. And with this we have a receiver, because a receiver will be receiving its input, and we have this mix patch that we are mixing a camera texture, and then we are delaying its frame. So we have attached it to the shader, and then its texture is being attached to the render pass. And then we have again one more receiver that is being set to delay frame, and then we have attached it to the device where we could see the delayed in the frame itself. Now what you could do is, like, if you want to attach some or the other patches, so you could go to the assets library, go to the shaders, and then you could attach some of the tones if you want, like if you want to create some greenish or color cycle effect, or you could even use this rainbow texture also. So let me use what can be done is, let's use color cycle. So we'll be importing it, and then we'll try to add it to a screen. So we can add one more rectangle. We could add some more text here. Okay, we don't need that also. So what you could do is you can change its size to 0.8. Let me disable this one first, and let's work on this 0.8. 0.5. Okay. Okay. Let me change it to 1. We haven't added any material to it. And then what we could do is, let me show you what I did. So I'll save this project and I'll send you guys so that you can just work on this. So this is what I did. I attached the color cycle to the effect itself and made it more blur, and the blur intensity I gave it to 0.9. So what we can do is we can change the blur intensity from alpha channel. As I said, you could give 0.9, but don't give more than that because it will just get delayed. And I was attaching it to this, so we have to attach it to the delay frame. So here we have to attach the delay frame as a first texture and then the device, and then you can change the texture from texture color A and B. So I have given A color as black and the B color is slightish bluish, and then I attached it to the color cycle, so that's why it's getting too much delay, you could see. So what happened is, if you give alpha value quite larger, then you see it will just get, the frame will get stuck. If we give 1, you could see that it will get a pause of some seconds and it won't be able to move. So we'll, instead of that, we'll avoid this and we'll give it a delay of 0.7 or 0.8. So like this, you could create some cool effects, like how it feels when you go to some disco or something and then you dance a lot. So that time, you, what you could do is you could even attach some disco lights here, and then these frames, or you could even divide it to 4, and then it will look like a collage. So it's up to you how you will be doing it. So this is all about it, and even you could create effects like where you would see the fires. I'll show you. We have fire effect between. So this fire effect is again you could use with the help of the uh, shader and the pass and delete frame. So like this it looks. You can change the color of the fire and then you can make it, and it's very easy because you just have to use the uh, 3 rectangles, one for camera and one for the camera person, as you could see here, and then the fire. So this is basically the fire one, and this is the back camera. So what you can do is you could see the patch editor. Quite a large, don't worry. uh, because there's this patch, so I could give this one, so you could easily create the effect very smoothly, and it would look good if you could change the color of the fire dynamically. For example, it's right now only green. Let me add some more colors. I added dots. Photo. Oh, okay. Wait. We can't do it like this because it's being, the patches have been attached to this sub patch. So we have to make the changes here first. So instead of that, you could work on this one first. Mm, change back to black. Because of the environmental texture, it's getting this green color. Yeah. Let me change it to fire, some orangish color. And then we'll be attaching it to its effect. So we'll have some orangish fire. And even you can change the blend mode. So this alpha will look somewhat like fire, and then you could change the opacity. And even we can change the value also. For example, if I give 3.5, so it goes a lot more. 3.8. This one is okay. And 0. No, 0. Five. 0.8. And then what we could do is we could change position of it a little bit. And let me increase this one. And this one too. So like this, you could set the position. So it is more fiery now. And instead of black and white, if you want the colored, so you can also use it with the help of the LUTs that are being provided. Either you can directly use it, or you could even use from this. This was one thing, and the other thing that we are going to learn is about the creating the random effects that you would have seen. So I have already created the template for that. I was just doing it now only. So let's do the patchwork now. We'll see how we create the logic for the random patches. Let me open the project. Yeah, so I have added here. So I'm making an effect that says like you can create, if you don't want like this, so you could go with like which is your favorite city, or which is your favorite food, what's your favorite food, or like which emoji suits you, or what's my current mood, something like that if you want to create an effect. So we have like what I did is I added a face tracker, and in this too I have added the planes. One is the intro image, that is this one which you could see, and the gallery for now I have disabled it. Because like once you start recording the effect, you could see that the plane will have some random images. So all the 9 random images I have inputted into the gallery with the animation sequence. As you could see here, this is the animation sequence, and we have around 9 images with FPS is 25 frame per second. And another is face mesh, that is just for some smoothing effect I have given. Skin smoothing, as you could see. Let me give a word 40. And I have added a rectangle that is of nose use right now, so I'll be disabling it. So what you have to do is you have to create a logic that as soon as a person will record the this effect, so the random images will come, and will have a delay for about some 10 or 15 seconds, and then one image will get stopped. So we have to create a logic for this. So what we'll do is we'll be having a camera texture first. We'll be extracting the camera texture, and then first of all, let me drag the camera itself. And what we need is video recording, because the effect will start as soon as a person will start recording it itself. So we have a delay that will delay for some time, and we'll be inputting the video recording to the delay. And now we'll be using pulse. For the boolean, like either it will be turned on or off, so it will be having either 1 or 0 as a input. So now we'll be attaching it to switch. And then we'll attach its pulse to the offset. And then we need runtime that will track the time that it will be tracking the time of the effect, and will attach it to the value. And then now what we'll do is, since we need a delay of, for example, we could go 1 or even 0.6. If you want the images to stop soon, then go for 0.6 or 0.7. It's up to you. And what I did here is, this was the gallery texture. So if I show you right now, so you could see that this is just an animation sequence. And what you can see that if both of the planes are there, then one will be hidden. So right now I have hidden the gallery texture, and you could just see the intro image right now. And the gallery image is just animation sequence. See, some 9 animation sequence. So we'll just disable it right now. And what we'll do is, if the signal is on, so we want the gallery texture to get visible. So we'll attach it to the switch. And if the signal is not on, so we have a knot here that will reverse the signal, and then we want this intro image should be visible. And then what we will do is, we'll attach an equals here that will check if two numbers are equal approximately with the same number and same. And we'll attach loop animation. Pure. And then we need images. So let me take this. We have image as the current image. And before that, let me give the value of equals as second number should be 5, and the tolerance, let me give it to 4. And then we'll be needing the current frame of the images. We need the current frame, because what we want is that as soon as the loop animation gets stops, the current image should be visible. So we'll attach the current frame to it. Now you cannot test it on your screen directly. What you have to do is, you have to send it to your device, and then you have to see how it works. So like what I could do is, I could share how I did it, because I already uploaded it once. So you can see the how it works. So it will get started, and as soon as you just record yourself, and for some 20-25 seconds later, you will see that one frame will get uh, stop. I mean, like it will just get stop, and one of the frame would be visible. So that's it. That's how it will look. So this is how you can create these filters. Apart from this, you can, if you don't want just images, if you want some, uh, what we can say, recordings or some audios. So that also you could do. I'll show you how it's done. Wait. So we have 3 of the projects here, which you could see. If you want to tap and start instead of getting recorded, so you can also see it, like how it works. So this is the basic one. If you want to just tap the screen and start instead of recording, which you could even see on your screen itself. So let's see this. So what we'll be doing is, we'll see how it works. So first of all, you have to click on the stimulate touch. So as soon as I'm going to touch it, the effect will start. Okay, so you could see that one of the image gets paused, and with the help of delay, you could see it, how the patches have been made. So if we start the effect again, you could see like which tech company I am in, or what's my favorite music if you want to add some audio files. So you just have to touch your screen, and then the effect will start and will stop at some stimulated period of time. So like this, similarly, we did what we learned in the previous one, but you could see that the frame is little bit smooth if we see the previous one. So the smoothing can be done by this, like add a face tracker, because we are using the plane here. You could see that this is a plane. So if in order to make these planes more smoother, we have a patch that is exponential smooth. You could find it here, exponential smooth. This one, exponential smoothing. So what it will do is it will just smooth the effect that's been attached, if it's attached to a rectangle, if it's attached to a plane. So you just have to extract this patch. So if you extract this, like if you just create, if you just click on create, this will come automatically, these three. And then what you have to do is you have to attach the exponential smoothing with vector 3 from the 3D position, and then this is just the position that you could see in the effect. So like this, you could create so many of effects if you want to make it. And if you want to add the instruction, because for these filters we need that you have to either tap or record yourself, so you can just click it here and automatically this will get created. I already had it, so I just deleted that one. And what you could do is, see, the logic remains same for everyone. See, this was the patch that was already made by one of the creator. So you like he gave it, like you can just use the patch instead of getting more complex stuff. So here also same thing is there, but apart from that, he has used the scripting, but the concept remains the same here. You could see that the animation switch, and then we have this one for the all the randomizers, or you could see the images that we had, the gallery texture in the previous filter. So the gallery texture is being connected to the switch, and then the result is basically the first image that you could see which tech company. So that's how you can easily make the filters if you want, like who I am, what I want to do, what's my current name. So I will show you two more patches with the effects. So this is the audio one. So we have this one. What we could do is, okay, so this is again like if you touch the screen of your mobile, the effect will get started. I think you won't be able to listen the audio, right? So this is how it is done. As soon as the effect gets stopped, you could hear a sound. So that's how it is done. It is also having similar way. The patches, they have made a little more smoothing of the plane, and then we have the randomizers, and here it is for the audio. We have the audio event controller, and then that will be attached to it, and we have these three are basically the sounds that have been added to the project, and the concepts remains the same for the image, because you could see that one image is being paused as soon as the effect gets stopped. So this is how the random effects is being made, and it's very easy. Like it's nothing a big you are making a game or something, because games usually go complex, but these things remains easy, and it's always easy going. So it's recommended that you could make the effect like this and add some more sound if you want. You can even add pick a UI, or if you want to add some color effect also, you could just add the rectangle here, and then what you could do is see, you will add a material to it, and then you can add a texture, for example, to color gradient. Let me add this one, and we have a material to it. Directly we'll attach this one, and then what we'll do is we'll multiply it, and let me take the depth of it. You can set a little, if you want somewhat bluish color, and here somewhat yellow. Okay, so like this you can add the effects, and if you want these effects to get merged or something, you can always use loop animation. Let me add it to the offset. Okay, so you could see that effects are getting merged. If you want, the time should be quite 2 seconds, so you can make it more smooth, mirrored also this, so you could see the smoothness of the effects, or you can even attach to the factor. So like this it will be seen to color mixing, or if you want it to get rotated to some axis, you can also attach to the rotation. Okay, so this is up to you how you feel. I think offset looks fine now. So like this, you can create the effects and it looks really good if we talk about this, or if we talk about the render pass. And yeah, this gets much more interesting when you start exploring all these things, because see, the thing is, the more you explore, the more you will be getting the idea like how you can do, because the ones who create all these things, they are not the god or they know everything. It's not like that. It's always a hit and trial method. You will just go on experimenting and then you'll get the results. So that's how it is. If you could see that in this one also, if you want to add some more um, patches or some more stuffs, you could do it. Or if you want it like the effect should have some delay, it should start some 3 seconds later, then you can add some more delay in the effect. So yeah, that's what you could do it here. And I was telling you, okay, if you don't want to attach this color cycle, what you could do is you can find a patch from the shaders, and suppose if we take uh, let me take 4 gradients, and if we attach this one, let me remove this and delete it. And if we take white, so it's now black and white and is black. So this is in like negative shade. And if we directly attach the texture A and texture B, let me attach to the black. And you can change the radius as well as the color of these. For example, if we go with all the 4 RG, so like this, you can keep on experimenting it, and you could even attach the effects here. Like if you want to add a rectangle, or if you want to add a plane or something, that also you can do it. If you remove this device, what happens is the effect gets disappeared, because that was happening on the device itself. So you need to keep this thing in mind, that how it's getting. And for this one, it will be simple delay. If we add a rectangle here and see how it works. Even I'm experimenting. I don't know how it will go, but let's see. Okay, see, so what you could do is, if you want to make a collage, okay, so you will be doing it like, set the position of this rectangle, for example here, and let me duplicate it. So this is the other one. So it goes here. You can set the position. Okay, and then let me duplicate it again. So this is the third rectangle, and you can change it to 0.6 or 5 if you want. 5 was fine only. 0.5. Oh. Oh, 0.5. Set. Then let me duplicate it and we'll be attaching it here. Camera, let's see. This is okay. This will go down. This will go a bit down. And this like this. Okay. So what you could do now is you can either make all these 4 rectangles with different color textures. And for example, if you want the first and fourth one to have same texture and the second and fourth, so what the easiest way is duplicate the material. Duplicate it. So we'll be attaching it to the second one and we'll extract its texture and then we'll be attaching it to the delay frame. So now what happens is if we change the color of it, so here it will be getting affected. Let me keep little bit dull. Okay, this is okay. And similarly, you can duplicate it. Control D. And this one, let me attach to the second one. Or we can do it somewhat green. And we can attach it to the delay frame. First wale ko let's give some red color. Okay. Or we could do red and blue also. Instead of giving this green, you could give blue only. This was material 2. So let me attach it to material 2. So we can see that this delay is there, and I think it will look good if you add some black or white frame that you could do. Like you would be easily able to do it. So yeah, this was all about the render parts. It's a huge, like you can explore a lot, many things. You can even give this delay, like how we saw that if we give the delays one, the screen get paused. See, even though I am moving, but my screen or in my device, you cannot see that it's getting moving. It's movable. So yeah, this thing you have to keep in mind. So you can create the effects like this. So I hope it is clear now. I'll save it. And what other thing you could do is, yeah, that's it. And guys, you would have been known that in the new version of Spark, now you can make filters while using the body track as well as hand track. So yeah, from today only the update came and I haven't updated yet, so I would have shown you all how you can make the hand tracking now in Instagram, as well as now you can go for the body tracking too. So yeah, that's what for today. Like if you guys have any doubt, you can ask. I'll share that random project with you also, so that like you can replace the gallery texture as well as the front texture, and you can make some changes. So you will be able to make your filter, and if you want to play with the delay, so that you can also go with it. Guys, do you have any doubt? One more thing I want to share with you all. Just give me a minute. I made this filter recently. I want you guys to know how I did. Where it is. Forgot the name. Okay. Right. Because I skipped that. I explained the picker UI, but for the option UI, I was not having much time in week 3, so I deleted. So like I made this effect where you could see that the frames are getting. We have used the segmentation, that's it, but you could see that the color is getting changed simultaneously. And since I have added in all the textures the environmental texture, that's why you could see the light colors. So if I just select all the materials and disable the environmental texture, then you could see the actual color of the set that's being set to the option picker. Now how you can make this effect is it's very simple. What I did is we have to just add the rectangles. So I have added around 7 rectangles here, and we have the person segmentation. So this is a person segmentation. You can change the softness if you want it less soft or greater according to your wish. And then what I did is this was the first layer. So if I disable all these, then you could see how actually it's going on. See, this is the first my black and white image. Okay, and if I add the first person segmentation, so this is the first person segmentation, and this is simple. Simply what you have to do is and I have attached a loop animation with the transition, and this is the option picker. So you could see the colors that are getting different are green, purple, and all these etc colors that are being getting and then we have this material one for the rectangle one. Now if I have the rectangle 2, so you could see the second layer. Now what happened is second layer, if I haven't given a delay of 0.4, then what happened is the same color would be seen. See, if I give it to 0, you cannot even see the layer because it's getting like 2 of the layers are getting combined. See, if I just remove one, so this is a very thin layer, and if I give it visible, then you could see somewhat getting the same color. Now what I did is, since I gave a delay of 0.4, so you could see that in 0.4, with the help of this delay, 2 colors are not getting mixed up. Now the third thing what I did is, with the third rectangle, I give a delay of 0.8. So again, I don't want that the color should be similar in all 3. So I have the fourth rectangle, back one, and we have fifth rectangle. Then we have sixth. And for the seventh one, what I did is I just attached a huge one. Now, if you would think like how I made it, so simply what I did is, for the first one, I kept the scaling of 1.1. For the second, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 respectively till the sixth rectangle. Now for the seventh rectangle, I gave a huge 1.7. See, but I have increased the width and height from here itself. See, you could. It's this one that is quite huge. So that I just wanted it to cover my whole screen, so that's why I gave it and I increase the width and height. So you can give the delay here 0.8. I give 1.2, 1.62. It's all up to you. And for the option picker, as you can see that instead of giving one color to the rectangle, it's the best way to choose this one. And you could easily see that I haven't done much work here. And if you see this one, so this one is basically for this black and white texture, this LUT I have used. This one. So yeah, that's it, how I did this effect. I think it was quite easy to understand also. And yeah, I hope you guys got it. Guys, do you have any doubt? Guys, are you understanding? If you can't reply, at least just write in the chat box. Are you getting? Okay, fine. So I'll be sharing this to the WhatsApp group, the project that was a randomizer, and both the delay that we have learned today. And you guys try to experiment it, and I think you will be able to get, because it's nothing big I did here. See, you guys would be knowing how to add the segmentation. Just go to camera and extract this segmentation, and then you can just add it to the alpha channel of the this one. So what I did here is for the first rectangle now, I just inverted it, so that's why the back colors has gone. So if I do it similarly with the seventh one, so you could see that background won't look like this, because see what happened. It gave a much more space, you can see here. See, because I increased the width and height of this rectangle quite. See, if I give it the normal one, you will see the difference, how it's going on. So see. So if now anyone will be using, so the background part will get covered. So I think this one will be quite good. And instead of 1.7, if I go with 1. Last was 6, right? 1.6. So it will just cover up the scaling. So if you want to check it on, you can check on different person. So yeah, I think this looks pretty cool instead of that one. So like this, you can create so many effects, and yeah, that's all about today. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Guys, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. And if you don't have any doubt, I think you got it. Okay, fine. So you have an assignment with this one. You have to create the effect. Where it went. Okay. So this is your assignment. Wait, this one. You have to build a randomizer effect. Wait. So first of all, you have to create a photo booth effect that I showed you with the help of Randomizers. And even you have to create, like if you want to create a random effect, you can just do it because it's easy. So I'll share this on your WhatsApp group so that you can just go through it. And if you have any doubts, you can ask too. So yeah, that's all about today. I hope you guys understood. And we'll be working on your doubts. If you guys have any, I'll be happy to help you. So yeah, that's for today. Let's meet the other day. Thank you. Bye. Take care. Good night.